The Road Freight Association says the employment of truck drivers needs to be consistently monitored to deal with some of the issues facing the industry. Almost a dozen trucks were set alight on the N4 in Mpumalanga, the Van Reenen's Pass in KZN, and the R547 that's in Lydenburg in Limpopo over the past few days. Mpumalanga MEC for Community Safety and Security is Vusi Shongwe joins us now to talk to us about what he has been seeing in his province. Babu Shongwe, thank you very much for your time. Let's begin with whether you are able to give us any more information behind these attacks.
Up to so far, we are still relying to the investigation of the SAPS in the province. They have been assigned to make that particular incident a priority in terms of investigation, precisely because, you know, it happened on the very busy road that connects Mpumalanga and Mozambique. So they will be reverting back to us with information as to update us as to how far are they about this particular matter.
Just as a way for viewers to understand exactly how many trucks were set alight in Mpumalanga, in total, how many trucks have suffered attacks in your province?
There are 5 in number.
5 trucks have been torched?
Yes, 5.
And at the moment, you are unable to tell us who is behind the attacks and what the motive is?
Except, you know, out of the experience to suspect that it might link to the incidents that happen to other provinces. We are also looking at the advantage of using, you know, the advantage that they passed. Waterfall Boven, it's after you have just passed your toll gate, Macharadok toll gate in Mpumalanga, which might be able to assist the police in terms of, you know, the visuals from the cameras, precisely because they are suspecting some vehicles that were spotted around that particular incident. So we are relying mainly to the investigation, and we are very hopeful that they will be able to crack it.
Yeah. The CEO of the Road Freight Association, his name is Gavin Kelly, Mr. Shongwe. He has questioned why trucks that belong to companies who employ local people and they pay what he says are better than minimum wage salaries are being attacked. How would you respond to that question?
That one I cannot respond to that one because, you know, in our province, the Department of Community Safety Security Liaison is different from Public Works, Roads and Transport. The public transport belong to Public Works, Roads and Transport. So most of the meetings about the public transport are mainly conducted by the Public Works, Roads and Transport. We are involved precisely because there is a criminal now cases that are involved in that particular incident, especially that they have banned trucks on our main road and they've disturbed everybody who's using that particular road, your tourists and everyone else who's using that road, which is N4, that goes as far as Mozambique.
I'm glad you mentioned this, Mr. Shongwe, because you're saying now that because of the criminal element, this is why you are stepping in as community safety and security. So here's the question. If government cannot tell us who's behind the burning of these trucks, nor can you tell us the reasons for it, and I think most of all, what worries business owners is that there are no arrests thus far. Who are we supposed to direct these questions to if government cannot answer?
No, you directed correctly to us. We are responsible for oversight over SAPS. we have a responsibility as a department to make sure that we push police to investigate until such time they crack this particular case. It gives a bad name about our province, not only about our province, also about the government of Mpumalanga. So we are fully responsible. We are not running away from that. We are going to do everything in our power to make sure that we work together with police, and police work together with the communities of around Basharadorp, Waterfall, Boven, motorists who might have passed in that particular road at that time and so on, in making sure that eventually they land their hands over those people, criminals, because I take it they are criminals.
So what is your advice then to the truck owners whose vehicles have been set alight thus far, and broaden the question to the entire trucking business that is operating out of Mpumalanga? What is your advice on how they should protect their fleet right now?
If they are honest to you, Xoli, they will tell you that from time to time, I have a meeting with them precisely to talk about criminal elements. Amongst those issues, except the banning of trucks, is the stealing of tires, your spare wheel, your diesel, your whatever. And we have a plan together with them that they've put some gadgets over their trucks that are helping us to be able to investigate, except in this particular case where they've banned them. So the gadget might not be able to work if they were, affected by the fire. But nevertheless, the point that I'm bringing home is that all truck owners of Mpumalanga, they know that quarterly we have a meeting with them and the provincial commissioner of Mpumalanga to discuss the issue of criminal elements.
Mr. Shongwe, I'm going to ask you a political question now as we end off our conversation.
Yes.
At the moment, we are unable to move forward with this story, I suppose, from my end as a journalist, because there needs to be arrests, or if there are no arrests, you at least should tell me where you think these attacks are coming from, and none of those answers are forthcoming, at least for now. Could that be the reason, by the way, that the Premier of Mpumalanga has reportedly asked you to resign? That perhaps you're not effective on your job?
No, she has not yet asked me to resign. I don't know. I've seen it on the media. You must remember that the Premier is a deployee of the organization herself. She cannot say that I must resign except for the organization to talk together with her and come out with that decision. Up to so far, to me, it is still a speculation because I've just seen it on the social media myself.
Yeah.
No one have ever pronounced that particular issue with me.
So you used a very interesting word, that she has not yet asked you to resign. The understanding is that you are likely to be replaced by a much younger person who comes from the youth league. Does that worry you in terms of your performance on the job, that perhaps, I don't know, could be age issues that could result in you being out of the job?
Well, I don't know. Everyone who takes a particular decision is informed by facts. They are better positioned to be able to tell you. From my side, I was still doing my work. You must remember, Xoli, that I was laid off for about 3 months, around December up to February, sick at that particular time. So maybe the statistics will take better and the assessment report can tell you better if you are more interested on that, Xoli. But nevertheless, I am fine with everything. I am not born in the position. I am deployed by the African National Congress. If the African National Congress feel that, no, Shongwe, we have come to a point of redeploying you, I'm very much content with that.
But based on your own assessment, you are comfortable that you have delivered on your mandate, and the fact that you were sick and off duty for about 3 months, as you say, you're saying that that cannot be an excuse for the Premier to say, perhaps medically, you should be indisposed.
Well, I up to so far, my performance, if yourself as a journalist can do your own research and check as to how did I perform for the past few years I've been to that. We must also remember that I was at a particular time an MEC for this department, and I was redeployed to agriculture. Do you still remember?
I'm well aware, sir.
Yeah, and do you still remember that the very same organization thought that I must come back again to this responsibility? Well, I don't know what informed that. You can tell yourself. Anyway, let's pack it that they will come and tell me what you are telling me and what I've seen on the social media.
All right. MEC Vusi Shongwe, let me thank you very much for your time, and best of luck. Hopefully you'll be the first to tell us whether you've been redeployed.